before we start the video, I'd like to ask you guys to please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video, as it helps the channel grow. So, let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for taking a little bit of time to spend a little time with me, your boy KT. Today we will be continuing on our NFL Division Series videos. We will be ranking each team in each division from worst to first. Today, like I said last week, we are doing the NFC North, a very, very tough division, especially now. Last year they had 3 teams that made the playoffs with the exception of the Chicago Bears. This year it's going to be probably even tougher with some of the moves teams did to get better this past offseason. I will let you guys know that this is one of the toughest divisions I've had to rank on this channel so far in both baseball and football, so this is not easy for me at all. But I have my list finalized. I'm ready to go through each team in this division. Per usual, we will be going worst to first. Before I start this video, I want to announce something special. As you guys know, I'm on my road to 1,000 subscribers, so I figured I would be doing another Amazon gift card giveaway. Yes, I will be giving away another $100 Amazon gift card giveaway, not monthly, but just one big giveaway for a milestone. Now, there is one big rule change, but I'll get there in a minute. So, for the rules for entering this giveaway, for existing subscribers, you should already know. Number 1, you have to hit the notification bell so you get notified when I drop videos like this, and when I drop the winners video once I meet the certain criteria to be able to make the winners video. So make sure you guys are hitting that notification bell. Make sure you guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you are subscribing to the channel, as like I said, I am on my road to 1,000 subscribers, so that really helps, and that will play a big role to the rule that I have once I get to the end of these rules right now. Number 3, make sure you guys leave your comment in the comment section of this video. No other videos. You can only do one comment at a time, so no duplicate comments. Just comment something random, a question, a comment, maybe even arguing with somebody if you want to. Just leave a comment on this video and you will be eligible. I will heart your comment just to make sure you guys know that you are eligible for the giveaway, just so to make it fair. One comment per person. No spam, no duplicates, and you cannot comment on any other video except this one. And number 4, one of the most important rules, make sure you guys have your email in your bio, so when I do end up picking your comment, I can easily email you a message saying, hey, you've won, and I can email you the gift card right away. If you do not have your email listed in your bio, you will not win. So make sure you guys list your email in your bio, in your YouTube about page, whatever you have to do to list your email, list it, because I will not pick you if you do not have it listed. Now, the biggest caveat I'd say so far for this giveaway is I'll only announce the winners once I reach the 1,000 subscriber milestone. So make sure, for new viewers, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please make sure you're subscribing to the channel. If I'm going to give back to the community, I want for you guys giving me the 1,000 subscriber milestone, I want to give something back to you guys. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. I will only announce the winners once I hit 1,000 subscribers, so that gives everybody time to list their comment. Everybody will be eligible. Just make sure you subscribe to the channel, and once I hit that 1,000 subscriber milestone, I will announce the winners at a specific date. But anyway, the rules will be also listed in the pinned comment down below, so make sure you guys follow all those rules and you will be eligible. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get straight into our last team in the NFC North. Alright, at number 4, we have the Minnesota Vikings, and I know plenty of Minnesota Vikings fans have just keeled back and just had a heart attack from me saying that right then and there. They're probably foaming at the mouth, cursing me out right behind their computer screens, but let me cook for a minute. Give me a minute to explain why. It may not make sense right now, but I have the Minnesota Vikings finishing 8-9 in the division, 2-4. 8-9 overall, 2-4 against the division, 4-8 against the conference, 3-5 at home, 5-4 away, 5-8 against winning teams, 3-1 against losing teams, and 4-6 against playoff teams. For the Minnesota Vikings last year, it was nothing short of a great year for the Minnesota Vikings. Despite their first round exit, in the playoffs. They actually had a good season by most metrics. They were one of the best teams in the division. Sam Darnold had a career year, stepped in right in the corner office and led this team to a playoff appearance. Even though they lost, it was a success for them overall. They have a great core on both offense and defense. Shoot, they have one of the best receivers in goddamn football, and Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. Those are two great wide receivers. Jalen Naylor now joins that vaulted wide receiver core. They added Rondale Moore, still got TJ Hawkinson, a great offensive line that they added to as well with Ryan Kelly and Will Fries. They're getting Christian Darrisaw back. Hopefully he can stay healthy. Along with that Brian Flores defense that added Jonathan Allen in the offseason. Of course, going with Jonathan Gennard, Jerron Hargrave, Harrison Phillips on that defensive line, Yvonne Pace Jr., linebacker, Blake Cashman, linebacker, Andrew Van Ginkel, with a solid secondary led by Byron Murphy Jr., Harrison Smith, and Josh Metellus. The main thing for the Minnesota Vikings is they're looking to, now that they're moving on from Sam Darnold, they're banking all their hopes on J.J. McCarthy right now. The rookie from Michigan has not played an actual NFL game in his career, suffered a very unfortunate injury in the preseason, was looking good in the preseason. The only reason I say that the Vikings finished 8-9 is that you never know with rookie quarterbacks. Everything is set up for him to succeed. Everything. He has a defense. He has the offense. He has the coaching on both sides of the ball, on both Brian Flores and Kevin O'Connell, who works wonders for QBs. At the same time, I just don't know if a rookie QB is just going to step in right away and show his full potential against a pretty decent schedule. The Minnesota Vikings, I think they have the 7th hardest schedule, right behind the Green Bay Packers. It's a rookie quarterback, man. I don't know if you're going to see the full results of his progress right away. Maybe we will. Maybe we won't. But me personally, I like to lean the other way when it comes to rookie quarterbacks. Putting just amounts of pressure and expectations on this kid and when he doesn't perform, and then calling him a bust is going to be an absolute disaster. Minnesota Vikings fans, if you're listening, you might have a great quarterback. He has all the physical traits. He has all the weapons on his team. He has the coaching on his team. I just don't think, me personally, I can't bank this team's success on a rookie quarterback right after you got rid of a veteran quarterback in Sam Darnold. This guy could easily step in and be one of the better quarterbacks in the goddamn division, or he could struggle like most rookies do, and eventually, maybe a year down the line, he will become that star quarterback. But I'm going to lean on the side of caution. I think they go 8-9. I just think with the experience in the division and the moves that some teams use to get better, I just think the Vikings with their rookie quarterback might struggle just a little bit. I don't think they'll be horrible, and they have a very good chance of being good. But at the same time, I'm going to err on the side of caution. I'm going to give the Minnesota Vikings the benefit. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I think they win 8 games. I think they're very competitive in these games. At the same time, I just don't know if I bank everything on a rookie quarterback stepping in. That's a lot of pressure to lead a playoff team led by Sam Darnold last year to step in as a rookie and kind of exceed those expectations. So I have the Minnesota Vikings finishing 8-9, but they can easily be a better team, just in my opinion. But hey, I told you guys that this was one of the hardest divisions I've done so far on this channel. So it is what it is. This is going to be the one that pisses people off. At number 3, I have the Chicago Bears finishing 10-7 overall, 3-3 against the division, 7-5 against the conference, 7-1 at home, 3-6 away, 5-6 against winning teams, 5-1 against losing teams, and 3-5 against playoff teams. Hey, I told you guys that this was a hard division to rank. Let me cook for a minute here and let me explain. Now, the Chicago Bears, their season was nothing less than an absolute disaster. As a Bears fan, it was incredibly frustrating to watch this team play last year. Scrap all that outside, throw it all into the trash bin. You're starting over again with the better team. As you know, they went out and hired Ben Johnson to be their head coach, or to be our head coach. We also went out and got Dennis Allen in the offseason, and they built a superstar coaching staff, if I do say so myself. The team is now riding on the hopes of Caleb Williams taking that leap to superstardom. And with Ben Johnson, it's kind of considered to be one of the best coaches and offensive play callers in the league. Well, just offensive play callers in the league. You add him to a team that has DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, the newly drafted Luther Burden. They drafted Colston Loveland to pair with Cole Kmet. A revamped offensive line, adding Joe Tooney, Drew Dahlman, and Jonah Jackson to shore up their interior, with Darnell Wright and Braxton Jones to lead the tackle spots. They also drafted Ozzie Trapillo in the second round. Add that to a defense that also had some upgrades, adding Grady Jarrett and Dayo Odin Ingbo. I forgot how to say his name. Adding Dayo to beef up their pass rush, adding that with two great linebackers as well, and TJ Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds, and their vaunted secondary with one of the best corners in the league in Jalen Johnson, a good safety when healthy, Jaquan Brisker, the newly paid Kyler Gordon, Tyreek Stevenson, who's still very talented, and of course Kevin Byard, who had a good season for them last year. For Chicago Bears, man, I just think that with the additions of Ben Johnson and what we saw from Caleb Williams last year, if they can kind of build off that and take what Caleb did last year, add that with a new offensive system, a new offensive line, so he probably won't be consistently under pressure. He has another year of experience to get the feel of the NFL down. And I think the Bears are rolling, man. I think they did a lot of great moves this offseason. I don't think they're ready to take the step to be the division leader, but I do think they've taken steps in the right direction to possibly be a wild card team. They have a couple swing games on their schedule, of course, because you never know with the Chicago Bears. They could come out and could completely flop. But Bears fans always say it every year, along with myself. This is the year that we'll finally be a good team, and this might finally be the year that we're a good team. We have everything that we could possibly need. While there are positions that we could get better at, like running back and defensive end, these are positions that were upgraded on last year as well, this year as well. I just think that Caleb Williams will take the step forward with Ben Johnson, a known great offensive play caller. We'll see how he is as a head coach, but at least they're doing something they've never done before. They hired one of the best offensive head coaches in the league. And I think with Caleb Williams, from everything that we've seen and heard in the offseason, and with this team that we've seen and heard in the offseason, as long as they stay healthy and as long as Caleb Williams takes those steps forward, which I think he will, I think this team is good enough to scratch off some wins on their schedule and be a 10-win team this year. That's just me. They do have a very tough schedule, but their schedule starts off pretty favorable, at least in the first few weeks. But this could easily swing the other way. I like the Bears, man. It's my favorite team. It's a team I always root for. I'm not being biased. I think this team is ready to break through. Like Ben Johnson said, this is a sleeping giant. All it needed was somebody to spark this team and give it a spark. I think Caleb Williams will take his next step forward. I'm a little worried about our running game, but I think our receiving core is up there with some of the best in the division. We have two great tight ends. We upgraded the offensive line so he won't constantly be under pressure. I think this Bears team is good enough, man. I think it's good enough to win 10 games. I think they finish 10-7 and make the wild card this year. But I could be wrong. I told you guys that this is a very tough division. Of course, my hometown team, I got to give them props, man. They did a lot this offseason. Let's just hope it translates on the field. But I have them finishing 10-7 on the year. From the most beloved team to the most hated team, in my personal opinion, unfortunately, I have the Green Bay Packers finishing second in the NFC North. I have them finishing 10-7, going 4-2 against the division, 7-5 against the conference, 5-3 at home, 5-4 away. 6-7 against winning teams, 4-0 against losing teams, and 3-5 against playoff teams. Green Bay fans know that you were very close to being the very, very last team in this division. Know that, because the thing about this Green Bay Packers team, they still got all their weapons on offense. Jordan Love is primed to always take a step forward. With Matt LaFleur calling that offense, I don't think this team will take a step back offensively speaking. They have tons of talent on that offense. Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs, Jaden Reed. They drafted Matthew Golden. Romeo Dobbs has turned into his own type of player. Tucker Kraft and Luke Musgrave, they have a good 1-2 punch there. They re-signed. They got a decent offensive line as well, signing Aaron Banks in the offseason, and they always get more out of that unit than what what meets the eye. They don't have the big names, but they always get more out of that unit than what meets the eye. Lucas Van Ness, Kenny Clark, Devontae Wyatt, and Rashawn Gary are their pass rushers. They're always much maligned Quay Walker, from what I hear in Green Bay circles. Still very young, very talented. Edrin Cooper, who is possibly the next star linebacker in this division, pairing him with Isaiah McDuffie. This team is stacked on offense and for their front seven. The only problem with this team, I would say, so far is the one I was really giving them flack for, and which they narrowly avoided just because the Minnesota Vikings had a rookie QB. That secondary is probably going to be god awful, man. It's going to be god awful. Carrington Valentine, Evan Williams. The only guy I might have some hope for on that team is Xavier McKinney. Keyshawn Nixon and Nate Hobbs lead their secondary this year. They cut Jair Alexander, who then went to go sign with the Baltimore Ravens. They had Bo Melton, a receiver, taking snaps at cornerback, and I just think, with that going on that team, their secondary is going to be pretty horrible. Remember, they got the offense. They got a good receiving core, even though it led the league in drops last year. Still got Christian Watson and Dontavian Wicks. But that secondary is going to be a problem for them. That being said, the Green Bay Packers always find a way to pull something out of their backside. They're well coached, and to their credit, they always play a little bit better than their team represents. They don't have the big names on defense like that. They don't have the superstar names on offense like that, but they always play well and find a way to win games because they're well coached. 10-7 seems like a record to me that I think they can have. The only reason they're finished above the Bears is because they do get the benefit of the doubt with the division. I think they beat Minnesota twice this year, so there's that. This team was very close to finishing last, and I know what people are going to say, that this team was god awful against the division outside of one win against the Bears at home when they blocked that field goal. But at the same time, how much stock are you putting into a rookie quarterback for Minnesota? And we've seen what Jordan Love can do. We've seen what Matt LaFleur can do. Why give any indication that they can't do it again? They have a tough schedule, but who doesn't in this goddamn division? So I have the Green Bay Packers finishing 10-7. It pains me to say it, that we have to share the same record with these cheesehead bozos upstate, but it is what it is. I just think that, with their experience, they got an experienced coach, they got an experienced quarterback, they upgraded their wide receiving core. Despite their secondary being bad, I do think they'll get something out of that unit as well. And Xavier McKinney is nothing to scoff at as well. So I just think that with their experience, I think they will end up making the playoffs, and I do think they'll have a winning record. They have swing games on their schedule, as does every team, especially the divisional games, but who doesn't in this division? So I have the Green Bay Packers finishing 10-7, but just know, Green Bay, that we are coming. We are coming. The Chicago Bears are here. We beat you last year in Lambeau. We're going to beat you again. It might not be in Lambeau, but we're going to beat you one of these times. I guarantee it. So, I have the Green Bay Packers finishing 10-7. And finally, the number one team in the NFC North is none other than the Detroit Lions. I have them finishing 11-6 on the year, 3-3 against the division, 8-4 against the conference, 6-2 at home, 5-4 away, 6-5 against winning teams, 5-1 against losing teams, and 4-5 against playoff teams. For the Detroit Lions, they've had an interesting offseason as well. They have lost so much in the offseason on the coaching staff, man. Losing Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn to head coaching jobs, along with multiple other assistant coaches. So it's been rough for the Detroit Lions as far as a coaching staff perspective, getting a lot of their coaches stolen. But that just goes to show how good Detroit actually was these past few years. And I honestly think that Detroit should be happy that they got this type of stuff coming out, because they haven't had a coach be hired outside of their team in a while, especially a head coach. And now they have two. For the Detroit Lions, roster is pretty much the same, man. They got that star-studded roster led by Jared Goff at quarterback, Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery at their running backs, star wide receiver Amon St. Brown, You know, they got Jameson Williams as well. They drafted Isaac Talesa, who I think could possibly be a good player for them. They got Tim Patrick, Sam Laporta, and Brock Wright will be their 1-2 punch at tight end. Taylor Decker, Christian Mahogany, Graham Glasnow, Tate Ratledge, and Penny Sewell shake up to round out that offensive line. Had a very, very disappointing retirement this offseason, and Frank Ragnow retiring, who's one of the best centers in this league. While Jason Kelsey got all the credit for being one of the best centers in this league for a while, Frank Ragnow was the Iron Man of that team. So I think that hurts a lot. They did draft Tate Ratledge. I don't know how much Graham Glasnow is going to add to their center position. Losing Frank Ragnow is a big blow. But, you know, they're getting back Aiden Hutchinson this year. Hopefully he's fully healthy, as he suffered a bad injury last year. Aleem McNeil projects to be a pretty good defensive tackle. They also got DJ Reader. Marcus Davenport will round out the other defensive end. Alex Anzalone, the always dirty Alex Anzalone, will be there. Their linebacker, their weak side linebacker, middle linebacker led by Jack Campbell. They got Derek Barnes to go in there. Sam linebacker. Terrion Arnold, Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, DJ Reed, and Amik Robertson will round out that very, very, very strong secondary. Kirby Joseph, one of the best turnover safeties in the entire league, along with adding DJ Reed in the offseason from the New York Jets. That hurts the New York Jets entirely. So this team is pretty much the same as last year. Yes, they have concerns as far as I think the pass rush could use a little bit more. For Detroit, I don't think Marcus Davenport is the answer there, but they still pretty much got the same team. The only thing that's going to hurt the Detroit Lions is pretty much going to be coaching. Dan Campbell is a great coach. I think he's a great coach. At the same time, are you going to be able to emulate the success that both Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson had in Detroit? Are you going to be able to replace that success? Probably not. But this is a team that has enough talent to get by. Out of all the teams, they probably have the weaker schedule of all the teams in this division. They're not bad. It's not a bad schedule. In fact, on Fox, they have them ranked on the third highest schedule. I don't know how true that is, but they definitely have a schedule that they can manage. I think with Dan Campbell's coaching style, they brought in those players. Once they're ingrained into a culture, they don't usually fall off. I think Detroit is still probably the best team in this division. While they're probably going to take a step back because they lost a lot on the coaching staff, with good teams, if you have a great culture established and you got a great coach leading the way for you, I think that your team will still be able to flourish. I think their record against the division, even though it's at 3-3 and the Packers have a higher rank against the division, I do think that the Detroit Lions will beat the better teams overall. So yeah, I do think that they will still finish number one in the division, in a very tough division. I'll say so myself. I'm sorry. But I do think they'll take a step back. I do think they'll take a step back. But yeah, good culture. They still have a great team. I think they'll still end up winning this division and making the playoffs, and hopefully they can actually do some damage in the playoffs. They're a division rival, but still, this division is always more competitive when the teams in the division are more competitive. So I'm excited, but I still got Detroit. While the Bears, Packers, and Vikings, they have great teams around them. While the Bears got better, the Packers still got that experience, and the Vikings still have that core around them. Detroit has the culture. Detroit is still the best team overall, talent-wise, and that way I will give them the benefit of the doubt. I have them finishing 11-6 and winning the division. I think Jared Goff will pretty much remain the same quarterback he was after Ben Johnson's departure. So, yeah, I have them finishing number one in the division. And so, with that will end my NFC North prediction video. Yes, this was a very tough video to do. This was a tough prediction to do. I hated every second of it because I know I'm going to get flack in the comment section down below. So this was a tough, man. I think the Bears are probably going to be the most controversial team on this list. But hey, man, I think we got better. I think that Ben Johnson will be the truth. And I just think overall that Caleb Williams will take that step forward. And considering some of the plays that he made last year, we should be able to win games. As for the other three teams, I think the Vikings are not gonna suffer, but they're gonna go through the strains of having a rookie quarterback playing in that type of system. We'll see. Green Bay, they have the experience. they'll still probably be there. And of course, Detroit has that culture and of course the team and the talent to be able to win this division. So I think that's how I have it shaken out. Lions, Packers, Bears, Vikings. And I think that's very simple. Now, one amendment that I did make to these predictions, in the AFC North, I kind of took back the Bengals record a little bit. I have been finishing 9-8 now, and that's specifically for the fact that I really overestimated how bad or underestimated how bad that Bengals defense is going to be this year. They have no defense, and it does not look like they're going to get anything done with Trey Hendrickson or Shamar Stewart before the start of training camp. So for that reason, I had them falling out of the playoff race. I now have the Denver Broncos making the playoffs this year, with the Bengals falling out of the playoff race entirely. Let me know if you guys agree with that or not in the comment section. But anyways, guys, that's going to wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the videos. It helps the channel grow. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I drop one of these NFL videos. Make sure you guys follow the rules down in the comment section to be eligible for the giveaway. Remember, I will not announce the winner until I hit 1,000 subscribers, so you guys have time to get your submissions in. Make sure you guys subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave your comment on this video, and list your email in your bio, in your YouTube bio. I will not accept any X messages. I will not accept any Instagram messages. It has to be an email in your bio, or you will not be picked once I hit that 1,000 subscriber milestone. Once I hit that 1,000 subscriber milestone, I will post a video about the winner, and you will be emailed your $100 Amazon gift card. So make sure you guys get yourselves eligible for that giveaway. Make sure you guys follow me on social media, as there's bound to be more stuff about the NFL and other things on my social media. And as always, guys, I hope you enjoyed, and I'm out. Peace.